everybody? It's Buddy Webb, Midland, Texas. I'm looking at my Facebook right here, which is under Buddy Wayne Webb or buddy.webb.353. And this was a post I did a minute ago. This is going to be a really short video to make it, quick to watch. But I think it's also important and maybe even could help solve the murder of that young girl that was murdered at the 2010 oil show party my friend was at. Forced prostitution murder. She's murdered by human traffickers or sex traffickers because she didn't want to prostitute. I've mentioned that many times. The remains of a young girl were found outside of Midland in 2013. I believe it's the same girl. Okay, so anyway, here's my post as you can read it. Michael Shawn Williams died on the last day of the 2010 oil show. Well, that's the week that I was told about the girl murder. And then somebody stole his name and picture before friending me on Facebook. Okay, and so I'm going to show you that here. And I have a little very short read here. It says, my friend told me about a young girl that was murdered when she refused to prostitute at a party going on during the week of this oil show. So I wondered if Michael Shawn Williams was connected with that. Okay. His widow, Tymber Williamson, said that he committed suicide before being arrested that day for a parole violation charge. She also told me that he worked for DNR in Odessa and they had a booth at the oil show. She couldn't account for his whereabouts in the evenings for this week, and that was when that young girl was murdered. Okay. And so what had happened is, here, let me just open this up. Somebody, stalker or whatever, okay, they go out there and they steal this guy's picture, Michael Shawn Williams, okay, and you're going to see Michael, he's a compressor mechanic, died around the same time, and actually we're going to look at it. He was 39 years old, passed away Thursday, October 28th. That's the last day of the oil show, in the Permian Basin International Oil Show. Here's when he's born, and so I get all this information from the obituary. Well, that's how I tracked down his widow, Tymber Williamson. That's the name she goes by on Facebook. But somebody took his name and his picture and created a Facebook profile. There's the ID. Law enforcement could track that back to an IP address and to a person. Obviously, that person has some, first of all, he created a fake, account and sent it to me. And so, and I think we're going to find out that it has a connection back to the oil show party murder because of the day that he was murdered. There's some reason this stalker used that guy's picture and name. Okay. And also another clue may be the mutual Facebook friends. That here's the 5 or 6 mutual Facebook friends: Jenna Marie, Rebecca Hurd Friels, Steve Becca Dillon, this guy Kelly Bennett, Stephanie Diane Bachman, and Todd Bozier. And I don't really know them. I have 5,000 friends and 4,000 followers, and so I don't know most of them. But I know I did speak on private messenger with this lady who told me that I asked her. She said she'd never been to an oil show before, and I said, well, that's kind of strange because I looked at your profile and you own a oil field trucking company, and then she unfriended me, and so I wondered if she lied to me when she said that. I thought that was odd. And then this guy Kelly Bennett, he was in the news, something about building a bomb or something. He was going to blow somebody up or something. That was odd. But they were mutual friends of the stalker that created Michael Williams' fake Facebook, because this was after the real Michael Williams died. The real Michael Williams died on the last day of the 2010 oil show. And remember, that was, a year and a half before I was ambushed and shot. Okay, here's my next one. His widow, Tymber Williamson, told me that her late husband killed himself right before being arrested on a parole violation. She said he worked for DNR in Odessa and they had a booth at the oil show. She also told me they were separated, so she couldn't say where he was at during the evenings of the oil show when those parties were going on. I got the feeling that she knows more information, but she isn't talking. Okay, and so I'm asking her questions because I'm trying to, eliminate Michael Williams as being connected to the oil show. And, she told me, no, he was in Europe at the time or whatever. Well, I knew it wasn't him, right? But no, we're married, but we wouldn't. I don't know where he was in the evenings when the oil show was going on. That's basically what she's saying. Well, that makes him more of a suspect, So here's part of the transcript with her. And actually, when I first contacted her, she seemed to be relatively nice, but then she changed and slander. I have a whole bunch documented, and public defamation of character, and I'm gonna show you just a little bit, And she said, we've been together about a year. No, we were fighting, and he was staying at a trailer about a mile away. And that was how come that she didn't know, where he was at during the evening's oil show when them parties were going on. Okay, DNR. I looked it up one time. I even looked up the ownership of her or whatever, and she said Don something was the owner's name to that, and she did confirm that they did have a booth at the oil show. Okay, a friend sent me this print screen showing that Tymber, the widow of Michael Shawn Williams, was a member of a Facebook hate group called Buddy Wayne Webb Victims. Okay, I said, just let that sink in. I was home and minding my own business when this gang loads their guns and comes to my home to murder me. The only victim here is me, but the ex-wife did tell me in so many words that a lot of people were here when I was shot, which would make them members of the murder party. Also notice that Lance Eggleston is in that group, and he's the guy that told me after I'd survived a murder attempt, we have access to your residence at all times. Nobody will ever believe your story. You will be silenced, not if, but when. And then I replied back, I have a print screen of that, and said, when are you going to murder me, Lance? Anyway, here's the Facebook group, Buddy Wayne Webb Victims. Interestingly, that was started by, I'm trying to think of her name. It had come to me. It's the one of the women that's a witness in the Haley Dunn stuff. But anyway, Tymber is in this group, and here she's referencing me. Okay, and I'm tired of his accusations. Of course, I don't make accusations. I ask questions and state facts, And see, that's where a lot of people get confused. They don't understand the difference of might be, could be, or statement, And they really don't. They don't understand. Could this have happened? Did that happen? That's a question. That's not a statement, I mean, could the secret police be the ones that pointed their gun at me and pulled the trigger and tried to murder me in my home? Well, I'm asking a question. I didn't say that the Midland Police, Davis, Dickey, Chatwell, Angel, and L, that we believe were under my home, pointed their gun at me, pulled the trigger, and tried to murder me in my home. But they are, top suspects, and that's a statement. That's a fact. They are my top suspects, But I didn't say that they did it because I don't have that proof. All I know is they were here at my house. But anyway, that's the point I'm making on accusations. There's a difference between asking questions and making statements or accusations, okay? But here's the interesting Lance Eggleston, okay? This is the guy that threatened my life, remember? He promised me I'd be murdered and even confirmed the hidden access to this house. Nobody will ever believe your story, is what he said. And he's a part of this group. There's about 100 people in this Buddy Wayne Webb victims group. And, and I'll tell you what, after I got out of the hospital, the ex-wife comes by and says, you don't know how many lives you ruined with your idiocy, And, well, I'm staying home minding my own business. They come into my home with guns and shoot me, cut my phone on and shoot me, try to kill me. And I ruin lives? No. But what it said was there was a lot of people in the underground facility in the backyard, obviously, okay? They were with the murder party, okay? And I think they know, based on Texas law, the law of parties, if they, if they were here with the shooter, they're all charged with capital attempted murder. I mean, that's the law. 5 people breaking a home, 1 person shoots the owner, they're all charged. And so that might be what they're talking about, because they all decided to go into my underground home. They're breaking into a private home. This was a very interesting conversation about Michael Williams. There has to be a reason why this stalker contacted me. There has to be a reason why Tymber was so hateful to me after I started asking her questions. Something very fishy is going on here. Okay, and this one I left the poster anonymous, and because she requested me to, and that's all right. And I'm telling her here, I have a private investigator working on my case, which I do, and right now, and I'm expecting to actually get some evidence that I think might be game changing. Of course, this is just being the most blatant case of lawlessness I've ever seen. You know what I mean? I've already proven a murder attempt. We got homeowners all over Midland, Odessa, Texas, multiple states, reporting people in the attic, and I'm shot with burglar alarms going in my attic. 5 police officers are shown to be here under my home when I'm shot. Well, we don't know if it was when I shot, but they were here at my home without being seen on camera. So we believe they were under my home. Okay. So anyways, Okay, and this person tells me they thought for the longest time his wife staged it. So she's telling me that there's people that they're, saying that somebody believes that maybe Tymber staged Michael's death. Of course, I have no information. I don't know them people, and I don't know if that's true. And it says, I wonder if Michael was killed, and it seemed clear to me he was connected with Odessa because of what I've already said. I said the stalker created that fake ID, also created several other fake IDs, and each of them were named Williams. And I didn't even put that in this video. There were several fake IDs created, sent friend requests. I think it's the same person. They were all named Williams. Okay, I said law enforcement could easily find out who that was, but I can't. Okay, and then that's kind of been the problem all along. Is it's not. I've got the feeling the obstruction of justice is they haven't wanted to find out who murdered that little girl. They haven't wanted to find out who tried to murder me in my home or who murdered Michael Lawson, because I think it exposes underground facilities, the parties, the people there, all the murders, all the other homes that are rigged, and all the other crimes. It's a can of worms. It's probably the largest case of public corruption and crime in the history of the state of Texas. Okay, I don't know, but Mike was going to leave his wife because he found out a bunch of stuff about her and it freaked him out. And I didn't get any more information than that. But anyway, I want to keep this short, and hopefully I will send this to law enforcement. And if we do have law enforcement that isn't trying to obstruct justice and cover up multiple murders, somebody with integrity, maybe a Christian, then this might just lead to arrests. This is Buddy, Midland, Texas.